Love in the digital age, a breeding ground for deception. The internet has revolutionized how we connect, communicate, and even find love. With just a few clicks, we can reach out to someone across the globe, share our lives, and build relationships that transcend physical boundaries. Online dating platforms and social media have blurred geographical boundaries, making it easier than ever to connect with people worldwide. These platforms offer a plethora of opportunities to meet new people, explore different cultures, and even find a soulmate. However, this digital landscape of romance has a dark side, the alarming rise of romance scams. These scams are not just isolated incidents, but a growing epidemic that affects thousands of people every year. As more people turn to the internet to find companionship, scammers are leveraging technology to exploit the vulnerable. They use sophisticated techniques to create convincing profiles and build trust with their targets. These digital predators construct elaborate schemes to prey on individuals seeking love and connection, often leaving them emotionally and financially devastated. Victims are often too embarrassed to come forward, which allows these scams to continue unchecked. The anonymity and reach of the internet provide fertile ground for these scams to flourish. Scammers can hide behind fake profiles and manipulate their victims without ever revealing their true identity. The ease with which scammers can create fake profiles and fabricate identities makes it challenging for individuals to discern genuine romantic interests from malicious actors. They often use stolen photos and personal information to make their profiles appear authentic. The emotional vulnerability inherent in seeking love online makes individuals susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. Scammers prey on this vulnerability, using emotional manipulation to gain their victims' trust and eventually exploit them. This essay delves into the world of romance scams, exploring their mechanics, targets, and devastating consequences. It sheds light on the tactics used by scammers and the psychological impact on their victims. It aims to equip readers with the knowledge and awareness to navigate the digital dating world safely. By understanding the red flags and being cautious, individuals can protect themselves from falling victim to these deceptive schemes. Unveiling the facade, the mechanics of romance scams. Romance scams are a form of online fraud where scammers establish romantic relationships with victims online to exploit them for financial gain. These scams are not just about stealing money, they also shatter the emotional well-being of the victims, leaving them heartbroken and distrusting. These scams are characterized by a calculated process of building trust, often over extended periods, to manipulate victims into parting with their money. The scammer invests significant time and effort into creating a believable and emotionally engaging narrative. The scammer typically creates a fake profile on dating websites, social media platforms, or even online gaming communities using stolen or fabricated images and personal information. They often choose photos of attractive individuals to increase their chances of luring in potential victims. They weave elaborate stories, often claiming to be successful professionals living abroad, to appear alluring and trustworthy. These stories are designed to create an image of a perfect partner who is just out of reach, making the victim yearn for a future together. Once they establish contact with a potential victim, they shower them with affection, compliments, and promises of a future together. The scammer's messages are filled with sweet words and declarations of love, making the victim feel cherished and valued. This carefully crafted facade of romance aims to make the victim feel special, loved, and emotionally invested in the relationship. The scammer's goal is to create a deep emotional bond, making it difficult for the victim to see through the deception. However, the scammer's true intentions are far from genuine. Behind the sweet words and loving messages lies a calculated plan to exploit the victim's emotions and finances. As the online relationship progresses, the scammer introduces a fabricated crisis or emergency as a pretext for requesting financial assistance. They may claim to be in a dire situation, such as needing money for medical treatment, legal fees, or travel expenses. These requests may range from covering travel expenses for a supposed visit to dealing with a sudden medical emergency or business setback. The scammer often pressures the victim to act quickly, creating a sense of urgency and making it harder for the victim to think rationally. Once the victim sends money, the scammer may continue to ask for more, using various excuses to keep the funds flowing. The victim, now emotionally invested and hopeful for a future with their supposed partner, often complies, leading to significant financial losses. Eventually, the scammer may disappear, leaving the victim heartbroken and financially drained. The emotional and financial toll of romance scams can be devastating, making it crucial for individuals to be aware of the warning signs and protect themselves from such deceitful schemes. Extortion and deposit scams, tactics of exploitation. Romance scammers employ various tactics to defraud their victims, with extortion and deposit scams being among the most prevalent. Extortion scams involve threats to expose compromising information or fabricated secrets about the victim unless they pay a sum of money. Scammers may use suggestive messages, intimate photos, or personal information shared by the victim during their online interactions as leverage for extortion. The fear of public humiliation or damage to their reputation can compel victims to comply with the scammer's demands. Deposit scams, on the other hand, involve convincing the victim to deposit money into a fraudulent account controlled by the scammer or an accomplice. They often present these requests under the guise of investment opportunities, claiming to have insider knowledge or access to high-return ventures. The scammer may even provide fabricated evidence of successful investments to further entice the victim. Once the victim deposits the money, it vanishes, and the scammer disappears, leaving the victim financially devastated. Vulnerable hearts on the line. Targets of romance scammers. While anyone can fall victim to a romance scam, scammers often target individuals they perceive as particularly vulnerable or susceptible to manipulation. These scammers are adept at identifying and exploiting the emotional and psychological needs of their targets. These include individuals who are lonely or socially isolated. Loneliness can create a deep yearning for connection, making people more likely to overlook red flags in their quest for companionship. People who lack strong social connections or are new to a city or country may be more likely to seek companionship online, making them prime targets for romance scammers. The unfamiliarity of a new environment can amplify feelings of isolation, driving individuals to seek solace in online relationships. Emotionally vulnerable individuals experiencing grief, loss, or relationship problems may be more susceptible to the emotional manipulation employed by scammers. The pain of losing a loved one or the turmoil of a recent breakup can leave individuals desperate for emotional support, which scammers are quick to offer. Financially secure individuals are also targeted. Scammers often present themselves as loving and caring partners, gradually building trust before making financial requests. Scammers often aim at older individuals or those they perceive as financially well off, believing they have greater financial resources to exploit. Older adults may be more trusting and less familiar with the tactics used by online scammers, making them easier targets. Romance scammers are also known to target individuals on dating apps, social media platforms, and even escort services. These platforms provide scammers with a wide pool of potential victims, each with their own unique vulnerabilities. Dating apps, with their focus on matching individuals based on shared interests and romantic aspirations, provide a fertile ground for scammers to connect with potential victims. The anonymity and ease of creating fake profiles make it simple for scammers to blend in and gain the trust of unsuspecting users. Social media platforms, with their vast user bases and personal information, offer scammers ample opportunities to identify and target vulnerable individuals. By studying profiles and interactions, scammers can tailor their approach to each victim, making their advances seem genuine and heartfelt. The emotional investment that victims make in these online relationships can be profound, often leading them to ignore warning signs and rationalize suspicious behavior. Scammers exploit this emotional investment, weaving intricate stories and creating a sense of urgency to manipulate their victims into providing money or personal information. The impact of falling victim to a romance scam can be devastating, both emotionally and financially. Victims may experience feelings of betrayal, shame, and financial loss, which can have long-lasting effects on their mental health and well-being. Awareness and education are crucial in preventing romance scams. By understanding the tactics used by scammers and recognizing the signs of a potential scam, individuals can protect themselves and their loved ones from falling prey to these deceitful schemes. Weaponizing personal information, a tool for extortion. Romance scammers are adept at gathering personal information about their victims during their online interactions. They use this information to build rapport, feign shared interests, and ultimately manipulate and exploit their victims. Scammers may glean personal details from the victim's dating profile, social media posts, or casual conversations. This information can include the victim's hobbies, occupation, family members' names, travel plans, or even their fears and insecurities. This information is then weaponized to create a sense of intimacy and build trust. For instance, a scammer might surprise the victim by sending a gift related to a hobby they mentioned in passing, reinforcing the illusion of a genuine connection. However, this information can also be used for more sinister purposes, such as extortion. A scammer might threaten to expose a secret shared in confidence or use personal information to impersonate the victim and defraud their contacts.